What's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are still here in San Diego for an event that we're calling Toyotathon because guess what? I have the first ever drive of this vehicle next to me. What is it? It's a 2025 Toyota Crown. This is the Crown Signia. But before we get into this mid-size luxury hybrid vehicle, let's talk about what's going on here. Toyota. It seems like they just can't stop bringing new vehicles to market. Out with the old and in with the new. This vehicle does replace the Toyota Venza in the lineup. And building upon that sub-brand within Toyota, featuring the Crown nameplate. Now, over in Japan, there's about 5 different Crown vehicles. Here in the United States, this is the second to follow up the Crown sedan. So what I want to find out is, if you're looking for a mid-size crossover SUV that does have some luxury, but also comes standard as a hybrid and with all-wheel drive, is this better than, say, even a Lexus or any of the German Euro brands? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our 2025 Crown Signia and find out. Right off the bat, new color. I thought it was wind chill. It's not. It's oxygen white. First of all, I never knew oxygen was a shade of any color, but to now have it featured on this Crown Signia, it actually looks pretty darn good. It's a pearlescent satin white, so it's not flat, it's not a high gloss, and you could really see in this area where the San Diego sun is hitting just that pretty sparkles that are going on. You do have your LED daytime running lamp, and then as we work our way down, even on the XLE trim, you're going to get LED projector beam headlights. I don't like this area here. I wish that they would have done maybe some thin fog lights or made this a functional air curtain, so I am going to zonk that area. But you do have the gloss black does flow nicely into this lower lip splitter area. As we come across the front nose, this is the new face of Toyota. They're taking a lot of different style from the Prius, from the new Camry. They brought it into this Crown Signia, functionality up top, and then you have your color matched mid-grille area. Let me know how you feel about that on this oxygen white. I really think it's working. It's interesting how much that the style of this vehicle has grown on me. Definitely blurs the lines between Lexus and Toyota and definitely gives it a standout look when you're going down the road. Lower portion, a little bit of gloss black, some body color, and then you'll notice that thick lower lip. And the whole point of having such a thick lip spoiler is because we're trying to stop air from going underneath the Crown Signia and also channeling air around the front end because this is a hybrid. We're trying to get more fuel efficiency. Now, as we rise up, from this angle, it looks like a large Prius, the way the hood is shaped. So you're going to have these very unique indentations into the hood and the front fascia. And then as we come around the bend, one thing to think about when you're going Crown Signia, they actually made it very simple on how to option it. Either you go limited trim, and if you haven't seen that review, I'll leave it at the end of this one, or you go XLE. Those are the 2 trims. As we come around the bend, on the XLE, you're going to get 19-inch wheels, machined aluminum gloss black, very Toyota-esque in their design. If you go with the limited, what you'll find is you'll have 21-inch wheels. 21-inch wheels. And if you're wondering what Joe was the size of the tire, 225 on the width, 55 series sidewall, and like I said, you have all-wheel drive. There's gloss black around the fender opening. It's not too crazy, nothing too overboard. And then as we go down the rest of the vehicle, gloss black on your mirror caps. You'll notice some flat black and your turn signals built in. Up top, on the XLE, there's no sunroof whatsoever. No standard sunroof, no panoramic sunroof. You got to step up to the limited trim to get that. You do have color matched on the door handles and just a little bit of shiny chrome trim along the bottom portion. But definitely from the side, it almost looks like the roof has been chopped because of how much lower it is compared to a lot of other mid-size SUVs. It'd be interesting to see if people would gravitate more towards this than, say, a Toyota RAV4 hybrid. But as we continue working our way to the back, nice large quarter window for this 2-row crossover. And then as we spin it around the backside, just like we have great lighting up front, great lighting on the rear. Love the way they do all the LED lighting nice and thin on the housings. Gotta zonk this. Get rid of the wipers, please. Just tuck them underneath. Really cleans up the back of such a good rear end on a vehicle. I like the way it doesn't say Crown Signia, it just says Crown. That's almost like that luxury sub-brand that they're doing. All-wheel drive, standard, and hybrid. And then, of course, like I said, this is an XLE trim. And as we work our way down, the rear bumper is a little heavy on the gloss black. So I would like to see maybe some of the body color be brought down, the oxygen white, but very clean on the bottom. You have your LED reverse lamps on the bottom. But let me know in the comment section what you're thinking about the exterior. We're gonna go ahead and pop the hood and talk power of this Crown Signia. All right, guys, we got the hood open. I'm surprised there's a prop rod, I'll be honest with you. I was expecting to see hood struts, but underneath the hood is that tried and true power plant. What the heck is it? It's a 2.5 liter inline 4 paired with the electric motor, 240 horsepower. It is mated to an eCVT, 0 to 60 in 7.1 seconds, and it does have a nickel metal hydride battery pack. But here's where you're really going to be the winner. Even though the vehicle weighs 4,210 pounds, you do have 39 mpgs in the city, 37 on the highway. Brake rotors are 12.9 inches all 4 corners. So like I said, I think it's smart that they kept it simple, just like on the outgoing Venza. I think the style looks better than the Venza, but let's see what it looks like when it's rolling in motion. So let's fire it up and see this Crown Signia do its thing. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Toyota Crown, this being the XLE trim. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I really am liking the Crown Signia. I'm afraid of the price, though, because I know that the Crown Sedan was kind of up there, depending on the trim. But how much is this Crown Signia? Because I'm about to pull the trigger, and I like the fact that it has standard all-wheel drive and standard hybrid technology. Well, guess what? Here it comes. MSRP for the XLE is right at $45,000. That's a pretty darn good price for what you're about to see. Are you ready? To the door panels. I love the soft touch material up top in the center. A little bit of copper going on, a little copper tone on the door handle. There is gloss black around the switchgear that I have to zonk, but they do put some copper finish there to make it all better. And there is some contrast stitching. Door pocket is on the tighter side, so maybe just one In-N-Out burger and a milkshake to wash it down. And you don't have a premium sound system in here. It's only a 6-speaker system. You gotta step up the limited if you want the JBL sound system. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, I like the way they sculpted the AC vents. It actually mimics the headlights with the way the design is. A little bit of that copper finish, and then you slide on in. You have your 12.3-inch infotainment system screen. That trim goes all the way across the bottom. Nice volume knob. Of course, this is that same multimedia system where you could pull up your energy flow. There's the nickel metal hydride battery. There's the electric motor. And then, of course, you have your all-wheel drive out back. We go back. You could go into your comfort, adjust the heated seats, heated steering wheel. And then when we go into reverse here, there's your backup camera. Not the clearest resolution, and it does not take up all that area, but you do have nice trajectory, which is great. Come on back, work your way down. 3 stages of heated seats. No ventilated seats on the XLE. You got to go limited. You do have dual climate control, which is nice. Your power on button, wireless charging. I do like the way it's like gloss black, and it does show your fingerprints, but not as bad as gloss black, I guess. But you have your 2 USB-Cs, a place for your Jolly Ranchers, 2 cup holders. This is going to control your eCVT. You got your drive mode selector switch. And then you'll notice the nice soft touch material. I could open it for you, so Steven could show off how you have a place for some jewels that you found, maybe some rubies, some emeralds. Don't scratch them up. And then you have enough room in here that they actually put a USB-C, and I could say you could probably put easily 6 boxes of movie candy. So if you're going to go to the movies and you're trying to save some money, don't go pay $20 for a box of Good and Plenty. You could get a box of Good and Plenty in here. Junior Mints, Snow Caps, Jujubes. Let me know what your favorite movie candy is down in that comment section. And you get it right from the dollar store. Guess what? It only costs you $1. I could also open it for me too, if I don't want you to take my candy. Seats, love the soft-tex, the piping, the stitching, nice design, electric assist for the passenger, electric assist, of course, for the driver. The one thing that gets cut, because this is the XLE, to help with the price point, no sunroof. You gotta step up to the limited trim to get the panoramic sunroof. Maybe they should have just gave us a standard size sunroof. That would have been nice. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Crown Signia. Hi guys, behind the wheel of this Crown Signia, you do have a little simple sill plate with the Crown name. I do like that. You do have your electric seat controls. No memory seat settings for the XLE trim, so something to think about. Steering wheel, leather all the way around. I do like the stitching. A little bit of that bronze color. Horn button looks better. Still not my favorite, but it is better. You do have paddles to go through simulated gears, and it is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then, of course, you have your 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. You can go into your different drive modes: sport, normal, custom, and eco. And I do like the graphics and the colors and the fonts. And then there's a plethora of information. Once that goes back to the standard screen, there's plenty of information that you could pull up in the gauges, which is really nice. Let me get all this warning out of the way. It becomes a pain in the butt. But as you can see, I could bring up the all-wheel drive system in that speedometer cluster there. We could do all sorts of different information, which is kind of cool. And your adaptive cruise control. But why don't we go ahead? Let's get in the back seat, because I want to take you for a spin in this Crown Signia. All right, guys, back seat time. And this is an area that even with the hybrid setup, you do have plenty of room back here. I like the large pockets. Put a couple packages of Mad Libs back here. Mad Libs are so awesome because kids just, I feel like they're not learning as much with these damn phones. And it's like with Mad Libs, you used to learn what a verb was, an adjective, a noun, and they were a lot of fun, especially to do as a family. That's another thing. A lot of families don't do things together anymore. Everybody's on their damn phones. So put some Mad Libs in those pockets, because guess what? With the better fuel economy, you're going to be on the road a lot longer on your next family road trip without stops, and it's a great way to keep everybody interacting. That's a little piece of advice from me to you. Now, down below, you do have your AC vents, and they do give you some bronze trim in the back, 2 USB-Cs. And then, of course, seats nice and soft. Armrest just as soft as the seat with the 2 cup holders. And I like to have the same design and materials as up front. Even the piping they brought on the edges here, which is really nice. But why don't we go ahead, let's get back behind the wheel. Actually, let's not. Let's get into the cargo area, because I know you want to see how much room there is in this Crown Signia. Let's get to it. All right, guys, cargo area time. You're going to hit the button. Nice electric assist, rises up. You're going to be greeted to a very generous amount of space, even though this is a hybrid. I like the cargo liner to protect the rear of the vehicle. And what are we talking about when we look at space? You're looking at 25.8 cubic feet of space with the seats up. You'll notice that we have these large nooks. This is where you're going to put like the milk, maybe the boxes of Twinkies or Ho-Hos, Ding Dongs, whatever you got. And then it's real easy to fold down the seats by just pulling on these handles. And that's going to open up to 68 cubic feet of space. But nice to see the flexibility with more of a luxury spec of a crossover SUV. But let's go ahead. If you're ready, I'm ready. I got the keys to this thing. Let's go for a little drive and see how this Crown Signia does here in San Diego. All right, guys, we are behind the wheel of this 2025 Toyota Crown Signia XLE trim. I'm gonna go ahead and put it into sport mode because that's just the consistency that I like to always have, because that's how I would drive it. And I know many of you would drive it that way as well. Now, what's great is that you're gonna get some nice comfort in the new Crown Signia, a good amount of room, and I'm really liking the exterior finish. Really fits well and stands out, I think, in Toyota's lineup. Now, another thing that's fantastic is having the all-wheel drive standard. It's gonna give you the grip, but also having the hybrid technology, and you're getting some pretty darn good MPGs out of this. Now, I know how you feel about the eCVT. I guess the good news is they are much more reliable. CVTs and Toyotas are much more reliable than a lot of other brands. And they do get you better fuel economy. So just something to think about. That's the purpose of this vehicle being standard hybrid, is to go with the MPGs. But if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. All grip and no slip. Without some nice simulated gears, it kind of, the driving experience is not as invigorating, but I don't think many people are gonna drive around on throttle with their foot pinned to the floor all the time. But it definitely, 0 to 60 in 7.1 seconds, has enough pep to get out of its own way. But really where it plays well, believe it or not, is in the driving dynamics. You know, you have these nice, comfortable seats, everything within fingertip reach, but yet when you're driving, they did a good job with overall steering feel. And every time you make an input, it elicits a response, and I like that. Sometimes, you know, some of these vehicles, they get a little numb in certain areas of the steering wheel rotation, and with this Crown Signia, I'm not finding that as much as on other crossover SUVs. Obviously, being a hybrid, that's gonna lower our center of gravity, which is actually gonna increase our handling capability. Visibility is fantastic. I love the way you have clear visibility out the back. You have all the safety features in here: blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise, emergency brake assist, backup assist. It's like they got you covered there from a safety standpoint. And as you can see, even on this twisty stretch of road, which is beautiful, by the way, I feel good. I feel confident. And if you want more amenities, you could get more by going with, of course, the limited trim. But I think your passengers are going to enjoy riding in this because of the amount of space that they have back there, and also the comfort characteristics that are in the back seat as well. I guess from an aesthetic standpoint, I would like to just see a little bit more color in the interior, because guess what? Between the limited trim and the XLE, they basically look the same. But I felt the same way in the Crown Sedan. Like, it's nice in here, but I just would like some stitching. I would like a little bit more of this copper color sprinkled throughout the interior. But wind noise, non-existent, because we don't have roof rails. We don't even have a panoramic sunroof or any kind of sunroof. So that's the nice thing, is that you don't have to worry about any kind of wind creeping in through that area. But I think most people, and you let me know in the comment section, would agree with me when I say that they should have at least put a standard size sunroof in the XLE. But with all that being said, an MSRP of $45,000, I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to start at $48,000 and then work your way up. But the crazy thing is that's not the case with this Crown Signia. All right, guys, once again, on throttle, here we go. I tell you, with the electric motors, it does put you back in the seat just a tad. You are getting some rumble. It's a little coarse from the 2.5 liter inline 4 engine, but that really is sort of a thing that happens with those displacement engines. I mean, there's sometimes no way to get around that. The fantastic news is that they don't try to do like Lexus did with the UX crossover and pump in these weird sounds through the speakers where they're trying to make it sound like a race car when you're in sport mode. I don't need that, and I don't think anybody buying one of these is going to want that. But the information on the dash is clear, it's legible, and having a 12.3-inch infotainment system screen, I think many people are going to really appreciate. And I know I've heard many owners really rejoice with the Toyota multimedia software that they use in the infotainment system. But just a really competent, unique looking crossover SUV. You think that it doesn't have a place in Toyota's lineup, but I think this even more so than the Venza has a place. My question is, at the price point, are you going to want to go RAV4 hybrid? Or even maybe a RAV4 Prime? That's that plug-in electric hybrid. But we're going to get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day in so many ways out here in San Diego. Definitely want to thank Toyota and the rest of the team here for getting us access to this base trim. This is the base trim XLE Crown Signia. Let me know what you think. Are you going this? Are you going to go with a Lexus? Or hell, are you going to go with the RAV4 hybrid? Let me know what you're thinking in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button right there. It'll be worth coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. We need to give it up to Stephen Flood. This guy has not slept in 4 days because he's been so amped to be here at Toyotathon. It's like Groundhog Day. Never ends. So definitely give Stephen some love. Give him some well wishes because he may need to be hospitalized after this event. But thank you, Stephen, for working hard. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.